All right, guys. So I ran across this absolutely tragic and very confusing story involving the so-called famous twins, whom twerk on TikTok and Instagram, and they're supposed to be rappers. Okay, they're two twins that I guess their talent is, I don't know, dotting on the internet, right? That's what it seems like to me, right, from my research, but. It's a very tragic story as their father ended up being shot while trying to save at least one of them doing some incident. Now, I'm going to get into this article here that talks about a story in which allegedly he was trying to save them, asking them to stop twerking, right? Stop sexualizing themselves on the internet for money. But there could or could not be more to the story here. It's kind of crazy. So let's get into it. There is a very disturbing story developing about two of the most famous TikTok stars in the world. MTO News confirmed that Alabama's famous twins were involved in a shooting that led to the death of their father, got a woman sent to the ICU, and got a third person, innocent old man, killed. And the horrible chain of events all started when James Walters, the father of the popular TikTok stars, confronted his daughters and reportedly asked them to, quote, stop twerking on TikTok. The famous twins are two sisters who perform together as music artists and tweakers. The pair are also famous on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, they have 983,000 followers on their profile at Famous Twins, and on Instagram, they have 351,000 followers on their account under the same username. Yesterday, James Walters was gunned down by a man associated with one of the twins, possibly a boyfriend. MTO News spoke with police in Mobile, Alabama, and they told us that James got into an argument with his daughters. Social media reports say the father was trying to get his daughters to stop twerking on TikTok. MTO News learned then the argument ensued. As the shouting escalated, police say that an unidentified man tried to intervene and James ran towards the man. The man pulled a gun and shot him, killing the twins' fathers, MTO News confirmed. Police say the shooting appears to be self-defense, but they say the man who shot James also accidentally shot a 23-year-old woman who is now in critical condition. So, right now, this is the story that I'm reading, this version of the event. Says that the father, again, trying to turn his daughter's lives around, right? Trying to tell them to stop sexualizing themselves on the internet, being a dad, right? Being a man. Again, trying to get them to stop sexualizing themselves, and he ends up being killed over it, right? Like, how tragic is that to think about? Okay? Like a dad being killed for just trying to be a good dad, right? It's terrible, terrible stuff, man. And the boyfriend that shot him, that's also pretty tragic, right? Like, I don't understand why you would even try to intervene in a situation like that, right? Like, that's between that father and his two daughters. I don't care if you are the boyfriend of one of those two daughters, you probably should not intervene. Okay, you probably shouldn't intervene. You probably should step back and let the dad handle the situation. But that's not what happened, allegedly. But here's where the story gets even more tragic. The boyfriend of the innocent woman who was accidentally shot, D'Angelo Merrill, later went on to the famous twins' apartment looking for revenge. But according to intern police chief Roy Hodge, he got revenge on the wrong person. Merrill kicked down the wrong door and fatally shot James Jones, a 74-year-old man. So in all, 2 people were killed. The famous twins' father and the 74-year-old James Jones, an innocent woman, is also in critical condition, and at least 1 and possibly 2 black men are facing murder charges. Okay, I'm not gonna play the video of them twerking, right? That allegedly the father got mad at, but not just the dad was killed, but another young woman was critically injured, right? Probably the person who was shooting the gun was probably trigger happy. Okay, probably did not have much training with that gun. Ended up shooting somebody on accident. Okay, and then also on top of that, the boyfriend of that young woman who was shot goes looking for revenge. Goes to the wrong apartment and kills an innocent old man. I mean, it just, I don't know how much crazier this story can get, except it does get crazier because allegedly I've been doing research into this story. What actually happened is that apparently one of these daughters had made $500,000 off of one of her songs and refused to share it with the sister. Okay, and apparently, that sister was gonna set up her other sister, right? Again, allegedly to go after her, to maybe shoot her instead, and she was gonna get the boyfriend to do it. That way, it couldn't be blamed on her. Again, this is just a theory, right? This is just another explanation that's floating around on the internet. And the father showed up to save that other twin, and then he ends up getting shot. Okay. Now, again, we don't really know if that's true, right? But that's the story floating around. But we do know is that on Instagram, one of the twins keeps posting saying that, it should have been her. She's the one that should have been dead. It was not about money, but she's the one that should have been shot, and that he was trying to save her. Now, she doesn't say exactly what for, okay, but she keeps saying that he was trying to save her. I mean, another version of the story that I heard is that there was some domestic violence going on between the boyfriend and one of the twins or whatever, right? And the father showed up. So there's a lot of different versions of the story. Now, the twins put out a GoFundMe to try to raise money for their father's funeral. So, I mean, I guess if they actually have $500,000, why would they need to raise money for a funeral? I also was on Instagram, and they were selling masks and trying to sell stuff to raise money. And they was talking about how the news is reporting it wrong. Okay, they're trying to make it seem like they set their dad up, or that somebody set him up, when that's not the real story. That's what they're saying. And I will say that I have seen videos of the father laying dead on the pavement after he was shot, and the twins screaming in the background, crying, and just being upset about what happened. Okay, so I've seen that. So that's a lot to piece together here with the story, but I guess my overall takeaway here is that regardless of the reason why it happened, I mean, it seemed like this father, again, was trying to save his daughters in some way. Okay, trying to do something to help them, and he ends up dying from that. And I think that's tragic no matter what, right? And to me, it really does, kind of put in my head like, man, I don't know if I want to have daughters, because we live in a society where, women are incentivized to sexualize themselves on the internet and to live a certain lifestyle. Okay, the lifestyle that these twins were or are living for quick money. Okay, and that's something that a father never wants to see. Okay, and a father that has to deal with that, I couldn't imagine going through that, right? Trying to convince them that there's a better way. And not only that, they also dating, thugs and people that obviously are trigger happy, okay, which could also possibly put them in more danger. And you go out there to try to save them for whatever reason, and you end up getting killed by the boyfriend. Again, it blows my mind. It blows me away. It's one of those things that, people, I think fathers are underappreciated in general, like good fathers. And this guy right here, he seemed like he was trying to be a good father and ended up paying the ultimate price for it, which I think is just, again, super tragic. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.